We're going to wind up our overview of MIDI by discussing how to edit MIDI automation. Many of the techniques I'll show you here will apply when we edit automation for other types of tracks. For this organ track, I have 3 lanes of automation showing: velocity, mod wheel, and sustain. I've already shown you that with the grabber tool, you can easily select a velocity and drag it up and down. And if you'll notice right to the left here in the corner, as I drag, you can see the exact value of the velocity that I'm changing. Now I can also select a range of notes and drag them all up and down. Now velocity is a special case, since velocity is tied to a note. You don't have velocity without a note. Whereas automation, like the mod wheel, I can move the mod wheel up and down and I don't have to have any notes playing. So this is a little bit different. Let's talk about how we edit automation for something like the mod wheel, which has values that range between, in this case, 1 and 127. Now I can take any one of these nodes, which define the graph of the mod wheel, and simply drag it up and down. Since I have grid on, the automation is locked to the grid. If I turn grid off, go into slip mode, I can drag this anywhere I want, up and down. If I want to add a node, I can hold down my command key, click, and now I have another node to add. Click again, another node to add. If I want to get rid of a note, I simply option click, it turns to a hand with a minus sign, and it goes away. Using the pencil tool, I can drag across to draw a ramp of automation. I can also use different types of tools. For example, I can use the triangle tool to draw the values in a triangle wave. I can use square. I can use random. Once again, I cannot use parabolic or S-curve. These are really only used for editing tempo automation, which we'll cover later. Okay, if I choose my trimmer, I can trim all the automation proportionally. If I use the selector, I can select my automation and delete it. I can also copy and paste automation. Let me go back to my grid mode. I will select the first measure of mod wheel automation. I'll choose copy, Command C, and then click here and choose paste, Command V. You'll see the automation got pasted. Now there's also a smart tool for automation, and here's how it works. If I'm not selecting any nodes, it's just a selector tool. I can drag and select multiple nodes. If I'm pointing to a node, it's a hand tool, a grabber. I can raise it up and down. If I'm on a line, I can use my trim tool and raise everything up and down. If I hold down Control, I get a pencil where I can add additional nodes and then scale them. Turn off grid, I can put them wherever I want. If I hold down Control and Option, it turns into an eraser, which will erase the notes. Even without the Control key held down, I can hold down Option to erase the notes, and Command key to add a node. So there are a couple different ways of adding and subtracting notes. So as you can see, there are quite a number of ways of editing automation. Remember that when I use my Smart tool, and I hold down Control and get the pencil will draw however my pencil tool is set. In this case, it's freehand. If it's triangle, and I'm using my Smart tool, when I draw, it will draw a triangle wave. So in this section of the course, we got a good overview of MIDI, what MIDI is, how to set up your MIDI rig, how to record MIDI, and how to edit MIDI and automation. We'll cover more details later in the course, but for right now, you've got all you need to record some great MIDI tracks.